What's happening, everybody? Back here in Fruita, Colorado, we're gonna do the Kokopelli trailhead today. I'm gonna do the famous horse thief bench. Says it's an intermediate, but I was looking at it, it looks a little bit more advanced. We'll see how it goes. It's gorgeous right now. It's about 67 degrees at about 7 in the morning. And for those of you that watch my Ripmo video, I got a lot of comments and feedback saying I didn't give that Ripmo a fair shake. Said the large was too big for me and that trail wasn't good for it. So we're gonna try it again. We're gonna ride the Ibis Ripmo. I got a medium this time. This again is running the carbon rims, Fox 38 up front, Fox Float X2 in the back. And this is a chunky trail, so we should be able to give it a good test. See you out there. So a pretty easy ride from the parking lot up a little hill and then down the road to Mary's Trail, which is going to be a little bit of a climb. I'm looking at some of the videos on other people's channels. This is the kind of hard climb to start to get up to Horse Thief Bench. A little bit of a rock climb here. This bike is actually going up pretty good. That steep seat tube angle, much like the Ripley, just really helps it. Not getting a ton of bob, a lot of good traction on this smooth rock. Still climbing up on the Ripmo. All right, I will say one thing. This medium Ripmo feels like it fits me better than the medium Ripley. The Ripley, I'm right in between a medium and a large. Again, 5'8", 175, probably 180, 185 with a pack. And the head tube angle on this and the reach is just a little bit more. And it just feels like I'm more sturdy on it than I was on that Ripley. But it is a heavier bike. It's not going to be as lively and popping off of stuff. But for today's trail, which is very rocky, drops, downhill, chunk, I think I got the right bike today. So far, this climb up has been easier than I thought it was going to be. It's not a bad climb at all. This drop in into Horse Thief Bench looks gnarly AF. And I'm not talking about aluminum frame. Definitely gonna park up top and walk it and see if it's even attemptable. All right, that one big drop, that like third one down, this one right here, I don't know, that one's gonna be a problem, I think, for me. Might give it a shot. I'm gonna walk this one and then keep going. Wish me luck. Go. There we go. And just like that, we're in Horse Thief Bench proper. Now, most of the ones I've looked at, people tend to ride this in a clockwise direction. So that's what we're gonna do. It is a loop, which will bring us right back to where we are. right over the river again. Might just have to stop for a picture there. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. All right, back on it. Had to stop to enjoy the view. If you haven't figured it out, I'm a pretty active, energetic guy. And I challenge myself sometimes to just slow down and enjoy where you're at. Hate to be cliche, but it's not always about the destination. It's about the journey. And it's about this bike. Oh my God. This bike on this trail has been phenomenal so far. Wow. Yeah, much more impressed with this medium over the large. Just goes to show, really do some research, make sure you get on the right size bike, and nothing is gonna compare to getting out and riding them. Flowy, sandy section here. This bike still not as lively in the corners as that Ripley, but I mean, I'm not having any problem getting around anything. It is much more planted and stable. I think this might be a drop. Yep, that's a drop. Oh my God, like landing on a cloud. I'm guessing it's this way. Take another drop. Oh, that one looks fun. Well, that drop's gonna have to happen, isn't it? We're gonna go back up, find a different line, hit the drop. Almost, probably should have been going a little quicker, but we made her. It's like here maybe. Not sure where the trail's going. Oh, it's going down there. I'm gonna come back up and try this line here. Kind of the fun part of a new trail. Just playing with it a little. Playing with different lines. I don't get to ride this stuff because I'm from Minnesota a lot, so I like to kind of push myself when I'm out here. I think the trail's over here. Sure, this looks like a trail, doesn't it? There's tire tracks. And pedal strike marks. All good signs. More rock chunk. This is why I wanted this bike here today. I was supposed to rent a Santa Cruz Tallboy, but they didn't have one in my size. Apparently most mountain bikers are bigger than me because mediums have been hard to come by. Oh my God, this view. You know, it may look rocky and technical, but I mean, if you fall, you're just gonna fall down a cliff. And if you don't die from the cliff, you're gonna fall in the river and drown. So, you know, it's okay. Probably not gonna get up that. Oh, I did. Holy cow. This bike just popped right up that. Man, that was impressive. I didn't think I was making it up that. Okay, so those of you in the comments and that messaged me about, oh, you gotta give the Ripmo a better shot. You gotta take it on some chunky stuff. Get on a medium. All of your whining is causing me to have just a great day. This bike is great on stuff like this. Wow. Ooh. Looking at the scenery. Try to look at where I'm biking because this is going to get sketchy. Oh, here's the line right here. Looking like I'm a little over halfway around the loop. I'm 4.25 miles from the truck. Not the truck, I keep saying truck, I have a rental. From the car. That was better. Front end on this is a little bit heavier than the Ripley, but once you get it up on top of something, it does a good job getting over it. A little loose downhill section after the climb. The brakes on this bike too definitely outperform the Ripley. The brakes are phenomenal. Still making our way back to the drop-in where we get to hike a bike. This way out has been just gradual, grinded uphill the whole way. Nothing steep or difficult, just kind of putzing up. We made it back at the drop-in. Strava says almost 6.5 miles from the truck, 6.46. And I'm running Strava on my Apple Watch Ultra, which is supposed to be pretty darn accurate, as it's their outdoorsy kind of backcountry watch. It's got additional GPS features in it. I gotta hike up that thing. And we're hiking the Ripmo out. Still just boggles my mind people ride down this. That's nuts. Still making our way around Mary's. This is actually kind of a fun trail. It's gotten a lot, like a little rockier, techier a little bit. Really good flow and just good views. So even though it's a green or a blue, depending on what side you're doing, don't discount it. The big downside to the Ripmo for me is it's just really hard to get off of the ground. I mean, it's really planted and stable, which is what you want in those downhills, right? But if you're real playful and poppy and hoppy, this is going to be a challenging bike for you. But man, I don't know if I would have wanted the Ripley on Horse Thief Bench. I think it would have done it. It would have been fine. But I think I had more fun on this bike on that trail. And conversely, I'm not sure I would have wanted this bike on PBR. Actually, I can tell you I would much rather have the Ripley on PBR. Just with everything to jump off of there. I mean, this bike just floats over this stuff though. More in. Still going on the last part of Mary's here before I think it's going to cut over to Wrangler. A little drop there. A little bit of exposure up here, but not as technical as Horse Thief with that exposure. Whew. Just let her go. Oh, trail's over here. Made it here to the cutoff for Wranglers and Marys. If you get to here and you're kind of done, you can go right up there to the Jeep service road. I think it says LT or something like that. That would bring you back down to the parking lot. Or do what I'm going to do Wranglers. It says it's about 3 miles. And it should dump me back pretty much right where I parked. So Strava says 10.6 to here. Still climbing up on Wranglers. See if I think we still got to go up some more. Looking to the left, looks like we're not at the top. I have been very impressed with how this bike climbs. Not as good as the Ripley just because it's heavier, but that C-tube angle, the DW link, and the fact that it just stays planted and grips. I really haven't found much I couldn't get up on this thing. And the stuff I couldn't is skill level, not bike level. I think we're up on the top of Wranglers now. about 1.1 miles, 1.2 miles, something like that, up to get here. But hopefully, most of the climbing's done now. Let's go down. Just see forever up here, good views. Reminds me a lot more of like the San Juans down in like Buena Vista area. Woo. Oh, there I go. First crash of the trip. Not bad. Definitely glad I didn't climb up this side like my original plan was. Although with all these switchbacks, it's not the most fun downhill. They're really steep and you really can't get a lot of flow. Well, now I'm gonna go downhill on Mary's that we came up this morning. Woo! I mean, this is just some chunky, and this Ripmo just plows through it. And we're back down to the road. Well, everybody, we're back at the car here at Kokopelli Trail in Fruita. Did about just over 17 and a quarter miles to get back here. One thing I will say, if you did this loop, I would have parked down by Mary's. Hiking out, biking out of the road up on the way out kind of sucked. But other than that, it was a great ride. Wranglers wasn't my favorite. I probably would have skipped that one and just done a second lap of Horse Thief Bench. If I were to come back, I wouldn't probably do Wranglers again. Mary's was a lot of fun. So don't count that one out just because it's a green, a lot of it. It was a ton of fun. And then of course, Horse Thief Bench. I can't say enough good things about that Ripmo. You guys were right in the comments. It was a great bike for this trail, and definitely could see the benefits of having it on a trail like this. So yeah, with that, I'll catch you on the next one. I got one more day of riding out here tomorrow, and then I'm heading out to Leadville, Colorado.